Hey y'all. I know. I was said it was going to be a different video, and I am working on that video. I'm just hoping for an update, maybe, or some more information before I put that video up here. But Daphne, I know I promised you another hat video since you hated my hat so much and had to leave a weird comment. Why has your page not been active in 10 years? Hmm. It's like a kid like page, and even some of the stuff that is posted on there, even Gypsy posted about that. But I digress. I definitely think it's somebody that she knows, or it's just weird because nothing has been posted in 10 years. And it's children types. I digress. Let's get into this video. Um, I know I spoke about why Rod and Christy were speaking up and they're trying to clean up their image and this, and that. But there was something today I saw from Into the Weeds. They posted a link to a website. Go to their page. They have the QR code. I'll put the website up here so you guys can see where to go. I've not been through it all. I've been through a lot of it, but not all of it. And I did not know about a few things. And I just want to make you guys aware of it because the whole Google search and then rewriting history, we know Gypsy's been trying to rewrite the story the entire time. Well, so are Rod and Christy, I feel like. Also, I want to share a clip of a live from Casey May, I think is her name, here on YouTube. Um, I listened to this live, just wanted to listen to it while I was driving because it's an hour, over an hour, it's like hour and 15-minute drive to go get my son and then back. So I'm like, let me just, it's something to do. Let me listen to it. And wouldn't you know, there was something, I'll just say this. Sheena spoke about how they always stood in solidarity. That whole crew over there is always in and out with each other, and they're just like stabbing each other's backs all the time. I would never want to be in any situation like that. But something her and Sheena spoke about that really blew my mind. But I'll post that too. But what I wanted to speak about with Rod and Christy and them trying to rewrite everything as well and clean up this whole mess that I feel like is the reason they lost the show. I do. Um, on Dr. Phil, and ever since all this happened and they seen they could make money off these documentaries, etc. DeeDee has been painted in just the most horrible light by them, right? And he wants to say she was such a bad mother, such a bad mother. And I keep saying, Rod, where were you? You know, he wasn't there. He wasn't a involved father, caring father, financially supportive father. He wasn't. But yet DeeDee still wanted Gypsy to be a part of his life. We've seen the text messages, etc. No matter what's trying to be rewritten, I do feel like the only person who stepped up for Gypsy was DeeDee. And did she do it right? No. Did she make some mistakes or a lot of mistakes? Yeah, she did. Do I think she did scamming on issues Gypsy already had? Yes, I do. I do. Do I think that she also contributed to the community too and volunteered in the same way back? I do. She definitely got more monetary gain than she gave, but she did. And everything you hear from everybody is how kind DeeDee was. And you'll see this on the website too. But the most shocking thing to me is where Rod was when Gypsy was born, and the woman Jill, who was his high school sweetheart, her age when he got her pregnant. I think Nicolette and Gypsy are like 3 months apart, something like that. I know they're very close in age, or 6 months, because he got her pregnant too, right? Because he woke up on his birthday, leaves, and goes to Christie's. Now, they're just best friends, they say. as you can read, I don't know, maybe not. I'm just telling y'all what's on here. Do I think it? Probably I do. um, and how you want to paint DeeDee as such a bad mom. And even on Dr. Phil, they painted DeeDee as predatory because she was 23 and Rob was 17. It's not. In the state of Louisiana, 17 is of legal age to consent to dating, blah, blah, blah. But now Jill was not. And to this day, Rod and Christy have not spoke out about this. DeeDee also, spoke to Jill and gave her comfort as well because he did the same exact thing to Jill. But worse, in my opinion, he gave up complete rights to Nicolette. Didn't want nothing to do with her. And Chrissy says they started dating 6 months later. I don't know where it is that they were on a break. My whole thing is you want to blame DeeDee for all of this, Rod. You want to put all this blame on DeeDee. And y'all want to paint her as this predatory, dark, like gothic, into witchcraft, et cetera, et cetera. It's a pretty common thing for the whole voodoo and stuff down in Louisiana, and it's not necessarily dark. It doesn't mean that it's, evil. A lot of it is meant to bring good, but a lot of it, can go left, as we know, everything can. But they wanted to paint her that way. Even Gypsy's middle name, Rose. Dr. Phil goes with a very different reason that Gypsy was named Rose than what Rod gave, which was his favorite band, Guns N' Roses. That makes more sense to me, but Dr. Phil doesn't bring that up. He also doesn't even mention the fact of Jill's age. And Jill is 16 at the time that Rod goes to his high school sweetheart. Your high school sweetheart was 16. She was underage. You were 18. That is actually a law. Statutory. It is. It doesn't matter. You were 17. DeeDee was 23. Dr. Phil even lied and said DeeDee was 24 to make it seem worse. It has came out, and even Gypsy herself said DeeDee was 23. Blah, blah, blah. You let a 23-year-old woman take your number, right? You approached a 23-year-old woman and bought her drinks, right? She didn't approach you. She didn't come to you. You noticed her. But slowly those stories get turned a little. But you do always say you met her at a bowling alley, but there was a bar at that bowling alley, right? And you weren't even of age to drink. Never mind all that. You pretty much, I want to say you were just a wild weed. Yeah, we know. Look at the night DeeDee went into labor. Or day, sorry. Where were you? Wow. He was all, you were there drinking and, you know, partying while DeeDee's in labor and you found out from your mom and went to the hospital and you did everything you could to help her. What did you do again? And you just didn't know how your life was going to be flipped upside down. How was that? How did it get flipped upside down again? You go to the hospital. You see Gypsy and you offer, whatever you can do to her. What were you going to do for her? I had to turn my light on. My video wasn't focusing all of a sudden, but, and you just weren't quite aware of how your life was going to be turned upside down. Rod, how was your life exactly turned upside down? I'm so glad that I saw this on there. You were an absent father, yet you're villainizing DeeDee at every step, in every corner, in every turn, rewriting the actual crime in itself, how it happened, why it happened. Because I'll tell you what I think. Yeah, Gypsy had daddy issues for sure. And that's why she was so guy crazy. On top of, I will say, her microdeletion and the microcephaly, I have read that it does cause overly hyper tendencies, and it does seem accurate. Now, you can see also on the website with like David Blanchard and Dan Glidewell, they were definitely into the BDSM too and wasn't very good role models for her. I'm not going to post anything about that. I can do a separate video on that, but she definitely had issues. Even, let's not forget that she, from FOIA documents, offered up her daughter to Nick, their future daughter, their first daughter. Just remember this, not Nick, but her, that when she turned 13, she would be sat down and would have to explain how she would have to act in public, and behind closed doors, she would have to pretty much submit to Nicholas and take her V, because he was the household master, and he was a vampire. That never came from Nick, that came from her. Okay. My whole point to this is, you were an absent father. You didn't do anything. You villainized DeeDee, right? Gypsy becomes obsessed with men. And the only time she got attention from you, I think, anyways, was if she was getting a procedure, or she was, possibly diagnosed with something. I don't know. But we all heard the phone call. And let me just remind you of this phone call where Gypsy talks to Rod the very first time.
Hey, sweetie. How you doing today, baby?
Had a rough morning, but it got better after I got to take a shower.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, guess who's on the side of me? I can't wait to talk to you.
Daddy?
Your daddy. Here he is.
Thank you.
Daddy? Thank you. Thank you, Goo Goo Gaga.
More?
Hey, Daddy.
Are you hanging in there?
I'm trying. I'm really, really trying.
Yeah, I bet.
It's extremely hard.
You explain anything? Not right now. I have a lot of questions, obviously. I'm confused.
I bet. I know what those questions are.
That's the reason I didn't get up the boat, because, I really wasn't sure on what kind of relationship you and I really had. I mean, I don't know if I've ever spoken to you without your mama being right on the side of you.
Well, to be honest, Daddy, I understand that we haven't had a chance to get close in a long time, probably my whole life, but truth is I've always wanted to get close to you. Far apart we lived, and of course you having a job, we never got a chance to have a real close relationship, and I want that. I really want to build a good, close relationship with you. And it's like, I don't want you to ever think that I'm mad at you or that I don't love you. I do love you, and I love you in a way that I know that we're blood, but I honestly want more than that. I want to build a relationship with you, and I want to get to know you, and I want you to get to know me. You know, I know that on the news, they're painting me out to be this horrible person, but you know my heart, Daddy. You know that, you know, everything Mama told you is true. I am truly a good girl, and, you know, I've always loved you, and I would never hurt Mama, and I know that you probably have some questions about, you know, probably my health, and what happened to Mama and stuff like this.
That is so concerning and so not normal. Even Rod just feels like he has no response to this whatsoever. None. No response. It made me uncomfortable. I would never say that to my father. The inappropriate text she sent and the photos that she sent that she blamed on her neighbor, inappropriate. Again, you want to villainize DeeDee, who you said was a great mom, and nobody would love Gypsy more than her mom. You let Gypsy know this. And what blows my mind, because I'll show this too, the night before you married DeeDee, I think you intentionally did this on purpose. I do. I think you hoped you went to jail because you wouldn't have to marry her. But DeeDee's family came up with the money and bailed you out. You took DeeDee's car, you wrecked it in a ditch, and resisted arrest and fought officers. I have a list when I say the officer, but you were drunk then too, and more. We see a pattern here, right? DeeDee was getting married, one of the most important days of a woman's life, and you still get to the altar because of her family, but I think you were hoping not to, honestly. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. You even said she was always very giving, very gracious, very kind. You repeatedly say this, Rod, completely have said this over and over, but you change your story and you want to say that malingering is the same as Munchausen, but it's not. It is not. You left your pregnant wife to deal with a newborn by herself. No financial support, no nothing, while you went to Christie's, dated your high school sweetheart, knocked your high school sweetheart up, and then gave that baby up completely. And then Gypsy's 6 months old, and you and Christy are finally together for good after this. When it says y'all were on a break when you met DeeDee, and your high school letters to Christy that y'all are just best friends even show she was into you more than just a bestie. So maybe you were on a break. My whole point to this is your daughter developed daddy issues. I think you have to feel some sort of guilt. You have to. You weren't father of the year, let's say that. You weren't there for DeeDee, you weren't there for Gypsy. And you want to say that DeeDee deserves this because of what she did. She didn't do anything. Your daughter said right there in her last live that she didn't have physical abuse, even though her stories have been she did, and lies about it. And it's a slap in the face to us who do go through it. Lifetime seeing that her medical was actually lied to them, I do think plays a part. I do. And the FOIA's coming out, and it's showing a repeated pattern with your daughter. She doesn't change. It actually has gotten worse. Do I think you and Christy will ever take accountability for that? No. You continue to disregard the bad things that you did. And oh, I couldn't even see Gypsy. DeeDee wouldn't let us. She just kept moving. She moved because of a hurricane. But she let you know where she was. There's photo proof of this. Stop saying that. You could have seen your daughter if you wanted to. You just didn't want to. You could have did a lot more, and maybe this wouldn't have happened too. There could be a lot of what ifs, right? Stop making DeeDee the villain. Make your daughter take accountability. You know what? Don't make her. I just want to put this out here to you guys. What do you guys think? Because I think that's like a huge reason Gypsy did what she did. She didn't want to go with Nick. I really don't think Nick was supposed to leave there. I don't, but she set him up instead. She wanted to go with Rod. Listen to that, Daddy. Daddy. Anytime she's lying, she's got that little baby voice. Whatever. And my last thing, listen to this from Casey May here on YouTube. Thank you for this. But here's just one part of it. I'll let you listen to a few parts.
Telling these people, for some of them, maybe not all, but some of them have a special place in the land down under. Now I'm not talking about Australia. In the place, the fiery pits of hell.
Super demonic for sure.
But if some people have an excuse because they had a shitty life, so it's excusable.
Get the fuck out of here. I cannot with the pity party of one. Party of one for the. Oh wait, or is it two? Are y'all party of two now? Party of two, pity party of two. Your buzzer's being paged. Your table is ready.
Here's your menu. Would you like an appetizer? Fucking annoying.
There's an AI for you. Let's create the pity party for all you dumb fucks.
It's gonna be a pity party potluck. Y'all have chopped liver and all kind of stuff there.
Yes, chopped liver.
Chopped liver. Chopped liver.
Chopped liver.
Anyways.
Well, isn't that exactly what you're doing with Gypsy? Excusing her behavior because she supposedly had this bad life of meeting celebrities, going to Disney, getting what she wants, being waited on hand and foot. But her bad life, you're excusing her behavior. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. It's just another what you think video. Love you guys. See you in the next video. And hopefully I will have those other 2 videos up. Leave your comments below.